Hey, welcome back to my studio. My name's Rebecca Victoria and I am a professional fine artist, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. What I want to talk about today is about intentional mindset work. I have been doing a gratitude journal, or I sometimes call it my joy journal, for quite a while now, and I've talked about it in a previous episode, so I'm going to link it so that you can see kind of my process behind my joy journal, my gratitude journal. But the other thing that I like to do in this gratitude journal, and I spoke a little bit about it in the last video, was I like to take the prompt of what does my subconscious need me to hear right now? And what is the universe trying to tell me, and just really trying to channel in and download what is directly meant for me in that moment in time. And it's something that I've been using as well while I have been trying to figure out what I want to do for my plan for next year, for all of my content and my artwork, and what my yearly plan is going to be. I spoke about it in the last year about how I plan out my year and how I'm planning to make everything happen at the right time and try to give myself a little bit of extra space and extra room in the margins so that I don't feel rushed or stressed at all. So you can go and check that out. It was the last video released, or I can add a link here. And then the other thing that I really didn't get to talking about in that last video, because it was already getting kind of long, was about my process of writing. So this kind of stream of conscious script writing is something that I do all the time, and I find it so helpful for releasing those hidden unlocked emotions that I don't realize are bubbling under the surface. And those are the things that really seem to cause me a lot of stress, and they're the things that kind of play along in the background, and I don't really even notice that they're there. They just kind of happen, and I don't realize they control a lot of my thoughts and emotions. And they're the things that are simmering on the stove in the background, and I am not being intentional about them. So I found that doing this stream of conscious writing about what my subconscious wants me to hear and what the universe needs me to hear has been a really game changer way of actually really getting these emotions out and really getting to the bottom of them and seeing what my body is trying to tell me, and my brain is trying to tell me, and the universe is trying to tell me. And so I just sit there and I script and I write, and I just write whatever comes to mind, whether it's kind, mean, it doesn't matter. Just get it out and get it off your chest, and it will make the world of difference. I know it has for me. And so something I did this year was trying to figure out what I want to achieve in the next year. And so I got my trusty little journal out and I started writing, and that is how I planned all my bigger content and the things I want to achieve. I have literally a list of things I want to do, but I know that I can't get it all done at once. It is going to be a really long process, and that's okay. I kind of like knowing what I'm planning for the future. My husband he finds my list so stressful, because each one of these is like a business on their own. How are you going to achieve all this? And my answer to him is, I'm not achieving them all right now. I'm not achieving them all at once. I'm looking at one or two and I'm picking them, and those are my goals for the year. Maybe even more, depending on what I can fit in. And so I really wanted to be super intentional about the things that I wanted to plan out for the next 5 to 10 years, the projects that I want to do and what I want to achieve, but then also figuring out what was right for me to do at this point in time. So I used my journal, and I found it so helpful, and I highly recommend doing a journal. It's honestly one of the best things. And I know it feels to me like I'm a teenager again, kind of, or even younger. I'm like a 12-year-old girl writing about how annoying my sister is, but it's helpful. There was a reason why I did it then, because I needed to get those emotions out. I needed to understand how I was feeling, and it helped then and it helps now. So I just lean into it, and I lean into that feeling, and I just really let myself be raw, authentic, truly me on those pages, and just know that no one else has to read them. Like, I could burn that book and it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. If that is the one place in the world where you can say anything that's on your mind, isn't that a really amazing place to cultivate? I think it is, and I think that that's why it's become so important to me and so like integral to my life, whether my creative practice or my actual life. It just helps. Like, it just helps. So why wouldn't you do it? So to me, the prompt is very important. To me, I think that that is really you can't just like start writing. I think you need to like physically write the prompt at the top, like whether it's what does my subconscious need me to hear, whether it's what does the universe need me to hear, what does my higher self need me to hear, what does God need me to hear, whatever it is that you believe in, you need that prompt at the top, because I think that sets a real intentionality to the writing. And I think that you can just tap in so much deeper and go deep instead of wide. I think when I don't put a prompt in, I go wide. It's like very like surface level, but when I put the prompt at top, something happens. I don't know what it is exactly, but I go deeper and it's so much better. I get so much more out of it. So honestly, you really should write the prompt at the beginning of your writing, because it makes it way better. And just remember that there's no rules. You don't need to edit. There doesn't have to be any structure to it. You don't have to do anything that is like formal writing. Just let the pen move as fast as your brain is moving, write as quickly as you can, and get as much as you can out. Sometimes I like to set a timer, and that can really help. But the other thing that I find very helpful is I play subliminal affirmation meditations in the background as well. You can get a bunch of them on my channel here. I create them for myself just as much as for you. So I know that they work, and I know that there's people out there who could really use these, and so I play them in the background when I'm writing, and I find that that really helps me get into the zone quicker. It really helps me to get into the zone of writing and doing what I need to do and get to the truth and the honest, safe space quicker, and just like bypass the surface level perfectionism bullshit that's going on, or the comparison, and just like really get into the depth of the conversation and like the thick of it, like straight away. So I might actually even create a specific audio that is meant for script writing. I think that would be really beneficial. If you think that would be helpful, please let me know in the comments, and maybe that's something I can create for me as well. So I find that this kind of writing really has shown me the patterns that I deal with in my brain, show me the things that I'm scared about, and the things that are illogical, and the things that I can really eliminate, like the fears that are and the worries that really are projections and things that are never going to happen. I really think that this process has helped me to like process a lot of that and reveal the truth behind it, and the thoughts and what I really believe, and show me the patterns that I've been repeating in my brain, in my emotions, in my body, and help me to get through them in a really positive way, and help me to push through and break those boundaries. And I feel like it gets to this point where suddenly it just clicks, and there's like sudden clarity, and you're like, I know what I need to do. And there's this huge emotional release when you get to that point, and I really hope that you can experience this on your first time writing this, because I did, and it made a huge difference, and I fell in love with the process immediately because of that clarity and that clear-headedness. I saw a pattern that I'd been repeating for years, and I realized the damage it was doing, and it was just like that I realized that I had the power to change that. I was the one that is in charge of the narrative, the story, and I could change that. So sometimes it really shows you ideas and things that you didn't even really realize were happening, and it can show you a way out and how to just be kind to yourself and do this with grace. And I really love it. And the other thing it did was really help me reconnect with my creativity and really understand what I was trying to get out on my canvases, because I found in the beginning I was really emotionally dumping on my canvases, but I didn't quite know what the emotions were. I just knew I needed to get them out. But it was the scripting and the writing and the clear thinking that really helped me figure out what I was actually doing, why it was helping, what I was trying to get out. And the combination of them together was so powerful for me. It just was like this huge like projector light shone on it, and I was just like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. So the journal writing was such an integral part of that, and it just took away those moments where I was feeling like silly or ridiculous, or when someone had said I'm too sensitive, and like really understanding those things from the past, those names that people call you, and you keep those labels and you attach them to yourself whether they're true or not. Most likely they're not, but understanding those labels and deciding that they are not going to be a part of my story anymore, and then working through it. The other thing that it did for me, it really relieved a lot of stress and a lot of the mental load that I was juggling within my head. And this ended up being a really calming, peaceful feeling. It allowed me to just get everything off my chest and not feel like I had to carry it around anymore, because if I needed to, it was right there on the page. I could come back to it at any point, but I didn't have to carry it anymore. So this felt like a huge weight off my back, physically, mentally, in every sense of the way. And it's become a really grounding routine and ritual for me that just helps me feel calm and at peace and less chaotic, and just really reconnect with what I want, my values, my intentions, my beliefs, and just be me. And it's not for anyone. It's not for anyone to look at. It's not for any other person than for myself, and just do something for me that takes 5 minutes. Even if you could do this for 5 minutes a day, it would make a huge difference. I like to set it for a little bit longer. Just be really honest and raw and real with yourself, and be really open to the process, and let it be messy, let it be whatever it needs to be. So anyway, this is what I wanted to talk about with you today. If you do something similar to this in your practice, or you want to try something like this, I would love to keep the conversation going. So please talk to me about it down in the comments. I am all ears. If this is something that really resonated with you, I would love it if you subscribe to stick around for more, or maybe even shared it with a friend that you thought that this would resonate with them too. Anyway, I hope you have a little bit of time in your day maybe to get some creativity done, but if not, maybe you have some time to just sit and journal for 5 minutes and just take that time out. I am sending you so much love. Bye.